Okie dokie. This is the DBT interpersonal effectiveness skill um, FAST. And this is the one that we use when we are trying to maintain our self-respect. So, an example of when we might want to use something like this is when we're feeling safe enough and when we have the resources and capacity to really stick up for ourselves. Um, if we're feeling scared, this is not an easy one sometimes, but if you're feeling threatened, it's not a great one to choose. So, an example might be, um, someone comes up to me in a public place and says something inappropriate, and I don't care or deeply about the relationship, and I feel really safe, and there's lots of people around. I can be like, "Don't talk to me that way," and walk away. Right? I can just be really clear, um, and I don't have to apologize for it, and I don't have to explain it very much. Um, and this acronym FAST can be a nice one to help us with that. I am using the website DBT Tools, which is really great and has all the DBT skills on it. So let's check it out fast. Um, be fair, no apologies, stick to values, be truthful. So fair is, we're gonna be like not saying they're a terrible person, right? We don't need to be like, you awful human mother effer, like, I hate you. We can just be like, hey, don't speak to me that way. We don't need to over apologize. I don't need to be like, I'm so sorry to say this, right? That can be a lot of codependency coming through is if we've had a lot of scary experiences with standing up for ourselves or not been able to up for ourselves as kids. So we're going to practice this in places where we feel really safe. Stick to your values, even if you get someone's pushing you and they say like, hey, it's fine, don't worry about it. And be like, no, I don't want to be spoken to that way, right? um, and be truthful. We're not going to over exaggerate. We're not going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm a poor person and you're being so mean and you're going to make my whole life worse, right? I can just say, nope, I don't want it done that way. It can be really easy to go into like exaggerations or acting helpless or manipulating the truth when we feel that someone's like not respecting us. So this is a easy place to get into some like victimizing, victimhood type stuff. And I've certainly been there. I had a contractor who was ripping me off, and I went into the whole like I'm a single parent and I have no family, and um, none of that was relevant. What I would do if I was using FAST is I would just be like, hey, I paid you for this and you haven't done it. So we're going to need to get some help from the bank or a lawyer or the town in order to reconcile this because I need you to do what I paid you for. Right. So, in that context of uh, the someone saying something inappropriate, we're just going to be like, nope, I don't hang out with people who speak to me that way, so I'm going to leave. And this one is less of a steps and more about the like vibe of how we're going to show up in the interaction. So, the other caveat for all of the interpersonal effectiveness skills is that we are not going to expect that if we use the skill, the other person's going to just respond great, right? This is not about the other person's response or their behavior. It's about how we feel and how we take care of our own selves and our integrity in the interaction, knowing that we can't control how the other person reacts depending on their nervous system state. They may have all sorts of reactions, and that's not our business. How we show up to it, though, is our business, and that's what we can take care of by using these interpersonal effectiveness skills. So it's not effective necessarily in making the relationship feel great or making the other person do what we want, but it's effective in terms of taking care of our own selves and our integrity and aligning a meaningful life according to our own values. Okay, love you so much.